Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Food Magic. Did you know that the global pasta and noodle market size was valued at almost $84 billion in 2022 and is expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 3.5 up to 2030? Even during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, pasta and noodle sales exceeded over $78 billion. I know when I'm planning my weekly food list, noodles and pasta are generally on my list. I think we can all agree that when we plan our weekly menus, pasta is something that we generally consider a staple. But common doesn't have to equate to being mundane. Let's look at a few pasta varieties that you can use in magic. Buckwheat noodles are eaten on New Year's Day and other festive occasions in Japan for money and luck. As a master occultist and food magic practitioner, I make it my business to check out recipes posted on the internet and to see how they could be converted into magical meals. This recipe was taken from feastingathome.com, and the name of it is Easy Soba Noodles Recipe. By looking at the ingredients, it looks like this is an ideal recipe for somebody who is seeking success, money, and power. Let's get into the recipe. What I will do is I'm going to dissect each ingredient that's placed in this recipe. If you want the recipe, the link is in the description box to the website. Okay, now the first ingredients, of course, is the soba noodles, which is the buckwheat noodles, okay? Those represent luck and money. Okay, she has about 7 different vegetables listed for this recipe, and I have the spiritual significance written in red in parentheses, okay? So this, when I looked at the overall recipe, it looked like there's a lot of ingredients that were good for money drawing, success drawing, generating power, okay? And not every single last ingredient is going to be like a money herb or a power herb, okay? For example, on the first vegetable that's listed is the shiitake mushrooms, okay? Mushrooms are usually associated with psychic abilities, okay? And when you think about it, when it comes to money, power, wealth, or whatever, we don't generally associate psychic abilities or psychic awareness with money, right? But what if you looked at it this way? What if you want to be led to whatever the opportunity is? Like, for example, you want psychic vision so that you make the right decisions, that you get led on the right path. So you can focus it that way. Now, for the carrot, when I think about the carrot, I can't really say that the carrot is associated with money, power, or success, okay, except for the fact that the color of the carrot is orange, okay? Now, carrots are listed in the food list as a representative of fertility. Now, it depends on how you use your mind, and like I said, magic is based off of how a person sees things. When I think of fertility, I think of somebody can get pregnant, or I can plant some seeds in the ground and it's going to pop up, okay? Some people look at fertility as something that's going to flourish, okay? So if you choose to add the carrot into the recipe, then you can visualize flourishing financially. Use that connection that way. Or you could use the carrot just to represent the color orange. It all is based on how your mind works. Like I said, not every recipe ingredient is going to stand out and send like power messages or money messages, okay? But a lot of times you can, if you design your own recipe, you could add things that you want, and it could be all exclusive. Like for example, you might want to make a dessert, a cake or something, and everything in that cake could represent love, and you can exclude all the little miscellaneous things, okay? So also she lists garlic. When you think about money, success, you want that to be protected. To me, I totally see where the garlic fits. And ginger is one of the best ingredients you could add to food. You could drink ginger in tea, you could eat it, kind of nibble it plain, or of course you can put it in a lot of stir-fry dishes. In this case, ginger is listed, and ginger is good for love, money, success, and power. Cabbage is also a very lucky vegetable to add. She's also listing bell pepper, which is great for protection, energy, and vitality. Those are the essential things that you need in life. Also, green onions for vitality and renewal. Okay, the oil that she's using for this recipe is sesame oil. Sesame is good for lust, money, and openings. And I want to talk a little bit more about oils, Now, in the food list that I have created, I do not list like sesame oil, but I do list like what it is in its whole form. So that applies to juices, oils, whatever. So for example, sesame, you'll find sesame in the section of herbs and spices. So that would cover sesame seeds, sesame oil, so on and so forth. Okay, it looks like she lists rice vinegar for this recipe. Now, I do not have rice vinegar specifically listed in the food list. I do have vinegar listed, okay? If you wanted to, when you're working with vinegar, because there's different kinds. There's wine vinegar, red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar, there's apple cider vinegar. If you want to, all vinegar is basically for purification and protection. But if you want to focus on the kind of vegetable, wheat, grain, or whatever that was made for the vinegar. Like for example, in this case, it's rice vinegar. Rice represents money, protection, and rain. Remember, vinegar of all types are purifying and protective. Now she does list a sweetener, which is maple syrup, which is good for love and money. Now she's listing a few different options that you could use. Now she's listing the soy sauce, the low sodium soy sauce, and she's also offering as an option the Bragg's liquid animos, the tamari, or the smoked shoy. I think that's how you pronounce it. Now when you run into issues like this, for example, the Bragg's liquid animos, a lot of people don't know what that is right offhand. So if you can, look up an ingredient like that on the web, and it should be able to tell you what it's comprised of. Okay, in this case I do understand that it's basically a soy-based type sauce or additive. So in this case you would know that you're dealing with soy, and you can use the list as a reference. So it can be used for protection, psychic abilities, and spirituality. Okay, so the last ingredient that she has listed is white or black sesame seeds. Now, based on the list, sesame seeds can be used for lust, money, or openings. So in cases like this, lust does not apply in this spell for success, power, and money. So you would just focus, while enchanting the sesame seeds, you're only going to be enchanting the sesame seeds for money and openings. Openings like, for example, opening up opportunities and the pathway to lead you to the proper place. Looks like a really good recipe. I can't wait to try it myself. As I mentioned earlier, this recipe will be located in the description box. I would consider spaghetti a blessing meal. Why? Because it contains the magical ingredients of what's essential to have a good life. Long noodles are considered blessings for longevity and good fortune. Pasta and marinara sauce is primarily made up of tomatoes. Tomatoes represent love, protection, and luck. I envy people who can make their own pasta sauce. I have always wanted to do that myself. But if you do make your own pasta sauce, your chances are you're going to use different herbs in the sauce. So here's a list of a few suggestions, which would be basil, garlic, and oregano. Feel free to add whatever you want to. Also, when you buy pasta sauce, if you look at the ingredients on the back, they usually do list what's in there, but of course you can always add additional ingredients. Adding meatballs to spaghetti is one way of adding protection. Of course, adding Parmesan cheese, which cheese of all kinds brings happiness. If the spaghetti is for dinner, you can add a side salad to add even more energy. If it's your desire to be elegant and powerful, I suggest you grab a package of bow tie pasta. To shake things up, forget the same old red tomato sauce. A pesto sauce with olive oil, pine nuts, and basil is a recipe for wealth. In food magic, a lot of white-colored foods are associated with spirituality or divine assistance. Alfredo sauce is a good example of this. Need to change something in your life? Pair Alfredo sauce with spiral noodles. Spirals represent transformation and change. Keep in mind, noodles not only come in different shapes, but you can also find them in different colors as well. Want to change your financial situation? Grab some spiral noodles for some transformation. Alfredo sauce will provide assistance from heaven, and adding bacon will provide some extra luck. The 3 money herbs I suggest are basil, oregano, and rosemary. Want to lose weight? Add herbs like chives to your transformation pasta. Need some inspiration? Add butternut squash for creativity and happiness. Orecchiette is a pasta typical in the Apulia region of Italy. The name comes from their shape, which resembles a small ear. Clairaudience is the ability to receive psychic messages by sound. Enchant orecchiette to do just that. Use butter or Alfredo sauce for spiritual assistance. Add psychic herbs like bay, thyme, or celery seeds to the recipe to gain more psychic messages. The list of magical foods includes over 20 different pasta varieties. You'd be surprised at the kind of pasta you can purchase. Yes, they actually sell penis-shaped pasta. Don't forget to download the magical list of food. Soon you'll be on your way to creating your own special recipes. I would love for you to share what you come up with. Send your recipes to swansongmanifesto@mail.com. I will add your recipe to the growing food list of mystical recipes for our community. Provide the spiritual significance for each ingredient. Include what you designed the recipe for: love, success, etc. Give your recipe a name. In this example, I'm calling my recipe All the Knowledge in the Universe. And here's the example. Thank you for watching.